On a roll.
Rolling. Yeah, on a roll. On a roll with honor roll.
Yeah, I never thought of that. We're on the honor roll.
Roll. Honor roll. Yeah.
Honor roll. All right. Well, this is we're back with our maybe our faces showing.
Yes. Video. Holy cow.
What is that?
I don't even know anymore.
And if people are trying to scroll and swipe, it's not going to work because this
Swipe away. We're hideous.
Look away. Well, we're not even going to slate it like an episode because really this isn't a official episode.
That's right.
What are we doing today?
I think you described it like a teacher in a lesson. So now I'm a little worried.
What did you work on this week?
Why don't you tell me what movie you'd like to see?
Yeah. Hey,
I think that the mission today is to talk about what we talked about with our very special recent guest, Gene Koshinski. We're in the process of editing this episode. This episode took at least 6 days to record. We went to a desert island. There were coconuts. We talked for at least 24 hours about board games in a row. It was pretty great. But it'll take a little while to release. But as we were chatting, we were talking about how cool it would be to react a little bit more quickly to the podcast, like what we were thinking of when we were talking to Gene, and share that a little bit faster. So I think that's what we're doing. Is this an intervention?
No, we brought everyone here. No, but I agreed with that. Like there was something when Gene was talking that I felt like it feels weird to just say bye to Gene and like let it go.
Yes.
Like it feels like something that I need to digest what Gene was talking about a little bit. And
okay.
And so I think nobody better to digest with.
Oh, I love digesting. I love digesting. So let me ask you this. What do you want to digest? Because I was thinking about it. My takeaways were, on the one hand, like a little bit selfish, and then on the other hand, a little bit, I was reacting to sort of what Gene said, and then I was also sort of reacting to what we did during that podcast as interviewers, if you know what I mean. Yeah,
I do.
So, why don't you want to start? What do you want to continue to digest?
Well, I'll hit the low hanging fruit here, or pick
it.
I will pick it.
Okay.
It's just so inspiring to talk with somebody who's so driven.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I know you're driven, and I love talking
I think
to you.
I've lost the drive, so to speak. As I've gotten older, I feel like I have not been driving as hard as I used to drive.
Do you feel like what Gene was saying on the podcast helped motivate you, or do you feel like
it definitely did? Because I went home and I was thinking, I think I could wake up and think about music more, or instead of just stopping and going to work on that jigsaw puzzle, I could actually be working more on this musical thing, or I could be figuring out this thing. I was shocked at how driven he was. I wasn't really I guess I wasn't surprised because of his output.
Right.
But I was kind of surprised when he said that he does feel distracted and he isn't a good focuser. And I was sort of about to say, you liar, because it does seem like this person's able to focus pretty well.
Yeah.
What did you think about that?
My analysis, and I don't even think it's worth even asking Gene, because sometimes people don't have a good sense of how their own minds work. Mm-hmm. But I was thinking he's an expert at leaving something behind and getting back into some other mode.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
His transitions are quick.
He's not overthinking it either. Yeah, he's moving quickly between stuff, and he's not questioning what he's done already.
Yeah,
the way that I think
that.
maybe we do.
Right, because I got that impression in hearing him talk that, like, when I asked him if his rabbit holes got him in trouble, I was expecting the answer to be, oh yeah, because I was so interested in these other things that I just went down these rabbit holes, because that's my experience. I get interested in these things, and then it takes me away from what these other people want me to do.
Yeah.
So I was expecting him to say yeah, but he seemed almost like flummoxed by the question. Like
he did, yeah.
Of course not.
No, it's funny because it definitely made me question my own working habits. Yeah, I think you and I are pretty similar on our Greekcast, because we tend to get obsessed with something, and then before you know it, like next to me there's a stack of at least 25 Henle editions of piano pieces. Because I wanted to know how they spaced the stems.
Right.
I think Gene would have just moved on at this point and said, my stems are fine. Yeah.
Yeah, because I think the things that you and I get interested and go down the rabbit holes about are on the fringes of importance.
Yeah.
To other people.
Totally. Yes.
Like today, the thing I texted you about was I was reading this book, and I was so interested that the page numbers at the bottom weren't centered.
Yeah, and that struck me because I had been thinking about that recently as well, because page numbers should actually be on the outside of the pages.
They should be.
Not on the inside of the pages. But then I didn't want to ask any follow-up questions at what you were looking at and why you were looking at it.
There's a lot on the picture, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think maybe that's part of it, is that Gene is interested in things that help support his life, maybe, and not in these but he's so interested in Seinfeld, which is the also interested in the little details that are around, the little ornaments.
Yeah, he didn't bring it up very much, and he almost seemed surprised to be asked about these things that, these things about these tiny details of the world, because it seems like it's clear he notices these kind of things, because of course his music is full of details, but
oh my gosh,
it almost seemed like he was sort of shocked that we asked him.
Why does it matter?
Yeah, why does it matter? Exactly. I found that quite interesting. One thing that one response I had to the interview was, we didn't do a very good job interviewing this guy.
Okay, tell me more.
We didn't elicit, a lot of deep, information. We sort of just let him go, and then we went with him, and I found that kind of fun. But
same.
In reality, we ended up talking about. We talked about board games for a while, or am I just misremembering what happened?
I don't think so. But I think that's how we would have acted, like if we were just not recording and hanging out in his living room.
That's true. You're right. You're right.
If somebody brings up a topic, you just kind of go with it. It feels weird to me, even though I do it sometimes. It feels weird to like strong arm a conversation in a certain way when there's like a guest.
Exactly.
Here,
yeah.
Like, so I think we did something we did a good job of was like laying the framework kind of open and letting him populate it with things that are important to him.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like
what else? What else was on your mind? Sorry.
Well, no, I was saying that your question at the beginning was a good example of that. It was like narrowing in a way, like let's talk about creativity, but it allowed him to like explain through his creative process. So I like that. But yeah, we didn't ask very many questions, did we?
Yeah. No, not really. But he did have pretty good answers.
Oh,
have to
I
say.
mean, it's something. It inspired us to do this.
What else? What else surprised you or delighted you?
The other thing that was more general was that he's really good at eating the broccoli, and his mind is so focused on future him. That was my takeaway. Was he's concerned with, I want to feel better later, so I'm going to do this thing that's really hard right now. He brought up the taxes thing.
Oh my God, yeah.
And we were joking that we think that we recorded this right before the new year, and we were saying that he might be done with his taxes already.
He probably is. I would be shocked if he's not. Yeah. Also, just that notion. Yeah, Gene was saying that he will do whatever is in the way of him getting done what he wants to get done.
Yeah, the hottest fire first.
Yeah, and I thought that was interesting, because normally when we hear about musicians or artists, we hear them as these sort of people that just like don't exist in the real world, that are just like off on a cloud, dreaming all day. And Gene's got a real practicality to him. I was also shocked about him saying that he cleans up his stuff right after he needs it.
That's inspiring.
That's inspiring. So here's another reaction I had, which was psychoanalytical in nature.
Love it.
Which was, if we now know that Gene likes board games.
Yes.
What does that mean? Does that mean anything about him? What can we conclude from this? Can we conclude anything, or maybe not?
I would love to use that to make another assumption, but I don't know if I can. Like so we know that he likes physical, tactile things.
Yes.
It seemed like there was a certain genre of board game that he gravitated towards, right?
I know. We need a guest. We need like a psychiatrist as a guest on our show.
My last note on my page here to bring up was, I think we should have invited Gene's family to this debrief.
Oh, I would have. Yes. Tell us something about teenaged Gene.
Yeah, but I did like how he was open about saying that he doesn't have the work-life balance that some other people are striving for. And he seemed to be okay with it, and it sounded like he wasn't apologetic. So I know that his like wife and family probably don't mind. But I loved how he was really self-aware in that way. That like, hey, I spend a lot of time taking care of stuff, and I love my family so much, but I don't spend as much time with them as probably somebody else would spend with theirs. Yeah, I thought it was like really honest. But so we should bring the family on and get.
Yeah, we got to find out.
Like Maury Povich. Send my dad to boot camp.
Oh. I think Gene would probably be good in boot camp.
Oh, he'd be so good.
Yeah,
he'd be.
No, I was very. It was very pleasant to engage with Gene because of just sort of how normal he made his life seem.
Yeah.
And it's always nice, in our day and age, it's always nice to engage with someone who thinks of music as just like self-evident. It's sort of like, of course you should do that.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. And this is what I do, and I do it every day. And sounds like he's been that way since high school.
Yeah, totally.
I've always been inspired by how like precise and accurate he is as a player.
Yes, definitely.
And obviously his resume is wildly impressive. I mean, it's 2 lifetimes worth of stuff already, and he's only lived half a life. But it's because he's really reliable, and both like when you're on stage, he's a reliable person that you're gonna probably get what you need from Gene, and I just love watching him and Tim play. And those like 2 mallet solos that he recorded are fantastic.
Oh, they're great. Yeah.
So
probably all one take.
Wow. I would guess it's a lot of first takes. Yeah. But yeah, and I think it makes a lot of sense. Like he's really driven. He's really focused on things, like things are in a place. And so when you get to the marimba or your multiple percussion setup, and he's playing as clean as his mind is probably.
Yeah. Yeah, he does seem to have a clean mind.
Yeah.
I like that. What did you think about when we asked him about just this notion of being a teacher in a time when you have access to so many materials?
It's so interesting, right? Because he didn't go the direction that my brain was going.
Yeah, me neither.
My brain is always about, kids these days, and that kind of thing. But he was almost foaming at the mouth, thinking about like, what if I had that resource? So yeah, I know. What were you thinking?
I was thinking the same thing, that this essentially we asked him about how do you deal with this thing now these days where there's just so many recordings, there's so many resources. How do you square that with the idea that in order to get good at music, you have to spend a lot of time just like doing it,
Yeah.
And I think his answer was just sort of like, I'll just do both. I think was that your memory too?
Yeah, something like that. Like,
just sort of like
I don't know. I can just use the resources, and it sounds like he just devours stuff.
Yeah, I wonder where Gene like watches videos. Do you think he's got a video room? We talked to him from his basement, and it seemed like his basement had a lot of areas in it.
Yes.
But where do you think his video watching station is?
Ooh, that's tough. Do you think it's the desk that we were seeing?
I'm gonna say I bet it was, but maybe it's not.
It sounds amazing. I can't wait to get the full report when you're there.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna do like a walkthrough.
Yeah. I want to know if
walkthrough.
The color of the walls is the same as
that was pretty
looked.
Intense wall color, I have to say.
But I'll bet it's different out of like in person.
I hope it is, because that was pretty interesting wall color.
Yeah, because if you bring that shirt, it could be like a green screen.
Yeah, my head's just bobbing up and down.
Just your head.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I love talking to him. I mean,
yeah, me too, for sure.
It's inspiring, and it makes me want to have more guests on.
Yes, definitely. What else was on your mind with Gene? Any other elements of this interview that we should hype before it comes out?
I think the people who are getting this little teaser, I hope that they go and listen to the full episode, because Gene's a fascinating person. And we all know him. We all think his music's great, but it's wonderful to like get the person in the flesh.
For sure. And my takeaway is that there's not really a secret sauce. It's just that he's actually doing all of those things.
He's doing the work.
You know what I mean? Yeah, he's just working
every day.
Yeah, which is
right.
Cool.
That's a great message.
Yeah.
Well, this has been fun. I like this little wrap up.
Me too. I think we should do it more often.
Cool. Yeah, we'll see if we do it for our own episodes, but definitely for the guests.
I think for the guests it's nice because, like you said, we schedule our lives so that we do video calls, and then 1 minute later there's something else going on. Like the next second you're teaching a lesson, or you're like making a paella or something. Like there's no downtime to sort of reflect, and like we should be reflecting.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, definitely with these guests, because you and I reflect on our own stuff a lot.
Yes,
but it helps to do it with you.
Yeah.
Nice.
Great.
Well, I hope everybody is out there gets a chance to listen to the Gene episode. If you're listening to this in 2026, you can find the Gene episode. It's on our podcast, wherever you get your podcasts.
Yeah. Nice. Well, Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year, everybody. Bye for now.